Good morning, everybody. Make sure the mic's on. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the North Dallas Plano Career Focus Group. If you can hear me, give me a thumbs up. Good. Okay, very good. Let me turn the speakers up in here a little bit. Testing. Here we go. That should be better. All right. Thank you for being with us. It's May 19th, 2023. Our agenda this morning will start out with success stories, and we have 3 landings today to talk about. So, and one of them I see is on the call with us already. We'll have everybody put in their 30-second introductions, and we'll give those who are here in the room a chance to give their 30-second introductions. We'll then hear from job fairs, committee reports, the interview success workshop, the PIC crew, and then the career tip of the week. And then we'll have our main event right around the top of the hour. For those people on Zoom, if you have any questions throughout the presentation, please just enter them into the chat window. For those watching on Facebook, if you have any questions, just put your comments into the chat window. We will be sure to get those questions answered for you. Please note this event is currently being recorded and is currently live on Facebook. The recording will be on the Career DFW Facebook page and the Career USA YouTube channel for others to view in the future. By participating in this event, you give consent for your name and picture to appear. Please note that any comments you put in the Zoom chat window will not appear in the recording. Well, good morning, everybody. My name is Jeff Morris. Since 2007, I've been facilitating and leading the North Dallas Plano Career Focus Group. The group's been around since the late 1990s. I took it over in 2007 when a prior leader of the group got a job and said, who wanted to take over? I think I must have touched my cheek or something, because I know I definitely did not raise my hand, but somehow I got picked, and so I've been leading in the group ever since then. In 2008, I started a website. I saw a need, and I created a website called careerdfw.org to help those unemployed in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. In 2012, I launched the second website, careerusa.org, to help those around the United States. I have written a book called What I've Learned About Your Job Search That You May Not Know. It is available on Amazon, or if you see me in person, I always have copies with me. And since 2017, I've been a member of the practice interview team, and you'll hear more about that in just a few moments. Well, we love to start the meeting off with good news. I know we have 3 landings today. The first person who I saw who happens to be on the call today, Amy, do you want to tell us your good news?
Sure. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Yeah, I have some good news. So thank you so much, Jeff. I wanted to let everyone know that I have accepted a job as the Senior Director of Learning and Development at City Block Health. It's a primarily Medicaid organization based in Brooklyn, yet they are now in 5 states. And going to be growing from there. So just a fabulous organization. I'd encourage all of you to sort of check them out and watch their growth. And if there are opportunities, I will definitely let you guys know about those. So very excited, start on Monday. And thank you, Jeff, and others for all of your support during these last 5 months during my transition. All of these sessions have been so helpful and have really helped me stay focused and change my approach when needed. So please take everyone's advice, listen to what others are doing, listen to what's happening. It does help. So thank you again, Jeff, and good luck to the rest of you. Please let me know if there's anything I can do to help you in your search.
All right, well, a couple questions here. You don't get off by just saying you gotta get questions. Number one, how did you hear about the position?
It was online. I think it was LinkedIn. And then I applied, and then I frantically did a lot of research. A lot of networking to try and get further into the position. I would say that a lot of the research that I did really did help me in my interviews. I based all the questions that I had based upon insight that I'd found out, and even had comments like, how did you know that? And I'm like, well, so yeah, sort of the traditional way with everything else mixed in.
Great. So if you had one tip that you wanted to, how long was the whole process from when you applied to when you found
it? Give me 1 second. I will tell you. March 29th, and I got the offer on May 5th.
Okay. So 6 weeks. Very good.
Yeah.
All right. So if you had one tip for everybody, what would it be? One career tip.
one career tip. Oh gosh, I don't even have coffee in me right now. I would say honestly, it's probably what I said before. Listen to what people are suggesting and advising. You know, your sessions on LinkedIn were always so good, Jeff. Yeah, hearing from recruiters and what they are suggesting, and don't say, oh, well, that sounds good and everything. No, actually, like, try it. Try making those changes. Every week I was changing something, which also helps obviously on your LinkedIn. And then interviewing practice, I would say yes. That's probably my second one, is constantly looking at how you're answering your questions and tweaking.
Right. All right. Well, Amy, congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you.
Say, hopefully we'll never see you again here, but
yes.
Around we'll run into you. So thank you.
Uh-huh.
All righty. Let's see here. Is Lisa with us? Let's see here. I don't see her on here. She said she may or may not be able to get in. So Lisa Castro wanted to let you know she started the first day of her new position this past Monday, actually, as a learning management system administrator at South University. It's a fully remote position, so she gets to stay living here in Plano. I so appreciate the information and support that I received through Career DFW, and if I can ever be assistance, please don't hesitate to contact me. If you need any information about the new position, please let me know. So that's from Lisa Castro. And then our third person who landed a job, who I let to know, Geneva Silva, I wanted to let you know I've landed. Very happy. She starts as a coverage lead at the McKinney Store leadership team at HEB this week. Really excited to begin this next chapter in a new career path. Thanks for all you do with Career DFW. The tools and resources provided by Career DFW really helped me navigate the job search and hiring process. So 3 landings this week. Is there anybody else out there have good news to share? No? Okay. Well, one of these days, somebody who lands is going to bring us donuts, and we're going to get to eat donuts here. That's the goal. So, you know, if you land a job, you bring us the whole donut. If you only land a part-time temporary job, you can just bring us donut holes. And at any time, if you just want to bring practice landing donuts, you can just buy practice landing donuts and tell us about the position, your dream position that you'd love to have. So, you know, we'd really appreciate that. So congratulations to the 3 people who landed this past week. Great news. It makes me feel good to hear that. All right, what we want everybody to do now who's online, if you will, please put in the chat window your 30-second introduction. We'd like to know your name, phone, email address, position you're looking for, 2 or 3 target companies, and then hit the return key. I will put all that information out along with everybody who's here locally, and we will get that to an email to you this afternoon along with any handouts we've got from today's presentation. So if you will start typing that information in. I also use this to update the roster, and so we'll get this current information out. So I will put 30 seconds on the clock. All right, so somebody in the room said, do I have to pay royalties when I do this? Well, I used to have a 60-second version, and for some reason, either Facebook or YouTube blocked me because of that, and I had to go delete that 60-second segment. But since I've used the 30-second segment, I guess it's really only 29 seconds, they've never stopped me. So no, I'm not paying royalties to use that. All right, what we want to do now for everybody else, if you're still typing away, please continue to put that information in so we know you're with us today. What we'll do now is for those people that are here in the room, let me switch over to a different camera. And here we go. We'll allow for those people who are in the side of the camera to be able to give their 30-second introduction. So whoever's got the mic, go ahead, just turn it on. And you need to keep it sort of close.
Hi, I'm Amy Fry. I am a marketing executive
And I help businesses generate interest for their solutions and help them to leads to revenue. As far as like contact companies, I need to come up with some more because I've exhausted those, unfortunately. And again, my name is Amy Frey.
Great.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Lily Kadur. I'm looking to transition from a career in IT software development to one in cybersecurity. I have been progressively equipping myself towards that. I do not currently have target companies, and I'm focusing on networking to meet my goals. The titles of the roles would typically be IT auditor or GRC analyst. I'm also open to the role of a security analyst. Lily Kadur.
Good morning, Veronica Tatum. I am currently a senior sourcing manager for AT&T, 25 years. I am currently looking to pivot my career. I kind of have a very diverse background, but I would say I want to stay more on the senior sourcing management procurement side. I would say my target companies right now have been CBRE and ServiceNow, as well as KPMG. Just looking for contacts and connections, and just trying to decide what direction I want to go in to be successful in the next 10 years in my career.
And you are? And your name is?
I'm Veronica Tatum.
Yes, it is.
Okay, I'm John George. I go by Jack. I'm a certified Salesforce administrator, developer, and I help companies by improving their processes for their sales and marketing. I need contacts at Citibank or CoreLogic. My name is Jack George.
There you go, right over here.
Hi, my name is Kathy Meredith. I am a product owner. I would like contacts at Boeing, Chase, City, and my name is Kathy. Thank you.
Morning, everyone. My name is Jama Ball, and I'm a business operations leader with global experience improving teams, processes, and operations. I'm also a Gallup certified strengths coach. I am looking for contacts at IHG, Sabre Hospitality, and Southwest Airlines. My name is Jama Ball.
Hello, everyone. My name is Chandler Kim. I'm a technology marketing and partnership executive. I help companies optimize and grow fast by optimizing their marketing and partnering strategy. My target companies this week are AMD, Honeywell, and CrowdStrike. Hi, my name is Chandler Kim.
Great. Thank you very, very much. All right. We'll Walt here in just a second. I did mention for those of you watching on Facebook, if you want to put your contact information in the comment field, I will delete it immediately after the meeting so it doesn't hang out there forever and ever. All right. Just want to talk a second about Career DFW and Career USA. These are two totally free websites. If you know somebody who's unemployed, please let them know about the sites. They don't collect any personal information. I'm actually in the process right now of rebuilding both sites to get them up to date. So you may see some changes over the next 30 to 60 days. And the sites may go down for a whole day as we're rebuilding things. So just as a little warning there. Where you see that blue arrow, those are a little one-page handout or a two-page handout on what do you do if you just lost their job. So if you know somebody who's looking for their, need some help in their job search, please let them know about the websites that are totally free. One of the things you find on the Career DFW website is a group of calendars, and on those calendars are all sorts of events, all the pink or job fairs, gold or workshops, free workshops that are going on, online training. All the webinars are in purple. The groups that are meeting in person are in blue. There's a whole color code there, and you can find out more about it. Just check out the calendars on Career DFW. Chandler, you want to talk about the PIT crew?
Sure. The PIT crew, PIT stands for Practice Interview Team. And one of the things that we all hold in common is that there will be an interview somewhere along the way. And one of the struggles perhaps all of us have is we very rarely get feedback on our interviewing and how we answer questions. Well, the Dallas PIT crew is an opportunity to go through a practice interview, either on an actual position to which you've applied or have an upcoming interview, or perhaps just a position that you aspire to have. And it gives you an opportunity to really practice your interviewing skills. It's a safe environment. After you do your mock interview, you'll get feedback. There'll be some discussion, and perhaps there are some pointers on that you can use on how you can improve your interview. The Dallas PIT crew is free, which is great. If you would like to participate, you do need to get on the schedule. Please send an email to dallaspitcrew@gmail.com expressing your desire to be a participant. If you don't want to be a participant, you can also watch either in person or online. So it's a great opportunity to learn more about interviewing and how perhaps you can improve your own interviewing skills. So that's the Dallas PIT crew.
Chandler, thank you. Yes. You used it?
I've used it. Yes. I used it for a role that I was interviewing for a few weeks ago, and it was awesome.
Awesome.
Because I mean, I felt like I was interviewing better, but it was just, it's kind of like, like I was moving along the process, not necessarily making it to the last round. So I kind of wanted some feedback as to, maybe why, that was and stuff. And I did get some good pointers.
Great. And don't wait. And even if you don't have a job that you're interviewing for, find that perfect job description that you'd love to have. Send that in along with your resume, and just let people know, let the interview team know, hey, this is just a practice. This isn't for a specific job. I just want to get some comfortable. Or if you're in the third round of an interview, if you let them know this is my third round, they will ask different questions depending where you are in the process. So it's really a great tool. If you haven't watched them, watch them on Wednesdays. Wednesday at 1 o'clock, you can watch it live. And then you can schedule your interview Monday through Friday as we can line up everybody to help you. All right, let's hear about the Interview Success Workshop. Good morning, Walt.
Well, good morning, everyone, and thank you, Amy, for your testimonial about the practice interview team. And so what does Walt Glass do? Well, I enjoy being an interview success coach, helping people with their skills and confidence in interviewing as well. And so what do I do differently than the PIT crew? Well, first of all, it's a very informal interview process. I call it the learning interview. And what do we want to learn? We want to learn how to sell ourselves, as everyone agrees that the interview is a selling situation and that we're selling ourselves. Just what is that? And so I built this model back in 1999 when I flunked an interview so terribly that I said, this will never happen again. The model is built on 3 legs of the stool called I am, I do, and I help. We sell who we are. We sell what we do, our knowledge and skills, and we sell the value that we use in combining who we are with what we do. I hear a lot of the I do's in an interview. I hear a lot of simple responses to questions rather than the selling of those 3 elements. So the Interview Success Workshop is free. You have to be registered to attend. That QR code on the screen will start an email to me and try to make it easy for you to contact me. And I will send you some availability dates to get you registered. It is online. I have reserved Tuesdays from 9 to 11 Central for that. I only do 1 or 2 people at a time. And as demand increases, I can schedule others, but I keep my calendar pretty clear for Tuesdays 9 to 11. So I would enjoy having you come down and practice. It's very informal. This is you do get an interview, but at the same time, we're not really trying to show a really smooth interview. We're trying to increase our learning and our skills. So we'll cover the 12 basic categories of questions. We'll look at options, structures, options to answer. It all depends on who's asking the question, what the question is, and where you are in the process as to how we might want to respond to that. And in that response, is there a way that we can sell the I am, I do, and I help, either 1, 2, or maybe all 3 in that response? So it's looking at motivation behind the questions. For example, people ask, aren't you overqualified? And they'll say, no, I don't think so. And look at all the things I can do for you. What have we done in that response? We've simply argued with them because they think we're overqualified. And then we say, no, we're not. And then we give them all the reasons why we're overqualified. So that technique doesn't really work very well in answering that question. So we'll talk about that. But be glad to have you come down and register. I call it learning without squirming. Are we prepared for that interview? We all know it's what we should do. The workshop gives you confidence and skills. So that job interview, we can kill.
All right. Well, thank you very, very much. All right. We can't have a Friday without a poem. All right. Let me do something here. Do this. All right. Back to me. All right. So now it's time to hear the career tip of the week. There's a brand new career tip of the week every Saturday afternoon on the Career DFW or Career USA websites. You can click on it. And you can find it. Those can be your V8 moments. So Rosanna, good morning. Thank you for being with us and reading it today.
Good morning, Jeff. Good morning, everybody. All right. Well, this week's tip of the week is dated May the 14th, 2023, and it's mastering common questions at senior level interviews. So cracking the code. In this guide to cracking the C-suite interview code, we'll discuss the most common questions for senior level interviews and tips on answering them effectively. And this article is by Tim Madden. So today's executives are facing increasing pressure to deliver on multiple fronts, from uniting a workforce that ranges from entry-level to senior management to meeting growth targets and staying ahead of the competition. The job is far from easy. Throw in unexpected markets and increased shareholder scrutiny, and it's no surprise that interviews for senior level positions can be stressful and intimidating. The 2022 Odgers-Berndtson Leadership Confidence Index found that 24% of companies surveyed lack tangible, effective leadership. Teams are hungry for passionate and ambitious leaders, and they desire executives who can assess situations, strategize solutions, and inspire success without compromising value or quality. Bring a fresh sense of enthusiasm and promise to the interview, and you may rise above the competition. In this guide to cracking the C-suite interview code, we'll discuss the most common questions for senior level interviews and tips on answering them effectively. Hard data and soft skills, what to bring to the table. Naturally, you want to arrive at any executive leadership interview with a portfolio of your accomplishments and ideas for the business. But no matter how many successes you've had in the past, an executive position requires more than just hard data. Success in any executive role takes a cocktail of hard and soft skills. Hiring managers want to know you have the technical chops, but they also need assurance that you can lead a team, foster collaboration, and inspire others to work toward common goals. Let's look at some executive level interview questions that work to gauge your proven experience with the soft skills that employees desire in their leaders. So first, what do you believe makes you the ideal candidate for this leadership role? This question is a way for the interviewer to gauge your self-awareness. When you answer, refer to specific experiences that have prepared you for the role. Come prepared with qualitative and quantitative evidence to support your statements and show the hiring manager that you are the right person for the job. But don't forget the intangible qualities. Don't be afraid to share how your passion and enthusiasm can bring a unique perspective to the team. Next question. Describe a time when you had to make an unpopular decision as a leader. PwC's 26th annual Global CEO Survey found that 75% of CEOs believe that organizations' growth will slow in the coming years. So how will you handle restructuring, downsizing, or other unpopular decisions? Interviewers often design this question to gauge how well you can stand by decisions that may not be popular with your team or with your stakeholders. It's often an unpopular decision that can lead a team through a difficult situation, so the interviewer wants to know how you handle and communicate such decisions. Stay focused on the outcome of your decision and provide concrete examples of how this choice helped or benefited the team or the company in some way. Showcase empathy and understanding for those affected by the decision. Next question. How have you handled leading a diverse team? Diversity is an essential topic in today's market. Corporations prioritizing diversity and inclusion outpace their competitors by 35%. You must come prepared to explain how you view DEI in initiatives and how you've successfully led a diverse group. Share how you led an initiative that improved collaboration and communicated a sense of inclusion among the team. Explain how you would implement several or similar tactics in the future, and emphasize how it will benefit the company beyond the bottom line. Next question. Describe how you've managed a crisis. Crises are unavoidable in executive positions, so be prepared to explain how you've handled tough decisions in the past. Demonstrate that you can remain calm under pressure while making sound judgments. Share how your actions positively impacted the organization. Highlight successes that arose despite the challenge, such as technology solutions you've implemented or innovative strategies you've developed. Showing you can think on your feet and turn a potential disaster into an opportunity will go a long way. Next question. What strategies do you have for leading change? Change is inevitable, but successful executives can embrace and lead their teams through any transition. But surviving change isn't enough. Companies want to know how you met or exceeded expectations and what strategies you adopted to ensure success. Be prepared to explain how you've successfully implemented change in the past. Share any lessons that you've learned from these experiences and discuss how you will inform your decisions going forward. Demonstrate an understanding and an importance of communication when leading a team through change, and emphasize that you are a leader who will guide the group through any transition. Now, answering with confidence, how to make the right impression. While correctly answering a hiring manager's question is important, it's how you present yourself that will truly get you the job. So you want to show genuine passion and enthusiasm for the opportunity to demonstrate why you are the best candidate. You want to practice your responses to the most commonly asked questions so that you can comfortably answer them during an interview. You want to share your real-life examples and provide concrete evidence to support your points. You need to demonstrate an understanding of the company's goals, show that you know their needs and how you can help them reach their objectives. And you want to demonstrate that you are engaged in the conversation and setting the groundwork for the future. Active listening and thoughtful follow-up questions will go a long way in showing your interest and understanding. And by understanding the most common questions asked in senior level job interviews and these tips in answering them confidently, you will be better prepared to demonstrate your value and make a great impression that could result in a job offer. And in a world where genuine leadership is in high demand, your success may be just one interview away. All right, everybody. Well, again, this is this week's tip of the week dated May the 14th of 2023, and it's mastering common questions at senior level interviews. Have a fantastic weekend.
Well, Zena, thank you very much. And the reason I included this tip is, I know most of us are not C-level people looking for those kinds of roles, but still take those same questions, some of those same issues and just, you can just change it. How do you lead a team? How do you convince other people to get things done? How do you survive when you've had a crisis? So that's why I think it was just a tip you can add on to.
Jeff, I'd say this is Walt Glass. I'd say this is one of the better tips of the week on interviewing. Those 5 summary bullet points are right on target, and they apply to every interview and to every candidate. So I ditto what you just said.
Yeah. So, just take a look at these. I think it will be helpful. That's why when I saw it, I said, this is something we can all learn from. All right. Lunch today. You got to come join us for lunch. We're going to go to Country Burger today at 1145, 3115 West Parker Road. It's on the northwest corner at Parker and Independence. They have burger, they have chicken, they have salad, and other items. So come join us there, 1145 today. In just a couple of moments, we'll hear from our speaker, Rick Martinez, talking about the 21 tips for an effective job search in today's ever-changing market. But I want to mention first upcoming sessions. Next Friday, Why Emotional Intelligence Matters. Why emotional intelligence matters is still relevant with Debbie Shook. She'll be with us next Friday to talk about that. And then the first Friday in June, we will talk about open forum. I also want to mention for everybody that as of next Friday, the church building is closed during the summer on Fridays. We are still going to be meeting in person. They have given me, because I guess I've been here so long, they like me. They've given me a fob to be able to get into the building. We will be coming in through the back entrance. I'll put on a map to everybody. For those of you who remember when they built the new sanctuary, we had to come in the back door for about 3 or 4 years. So we'll be back to doing that. We're still meeting in the same room upstairs. I am going to need a volunteer, though, 1 or 2 volunteers per week to sort of be greeters, because I can't leave the door open. So I'm going to need somebody to be here to greet people when they come in. So if anybody wants to volunteer, you don't have to do it every Friday, but, if you can through the summer or, for the next several weeks, that would be appreciated. I'll put an email about that on Monday to try to start signing up people to do that. All right, it's time to hear for the main event. Our speaker today has over 20 years experience providing technology-based expertise to the Fortune 500 information technology innovators and startup companies in North Texas. As CEO of R2 Technologies, his company offers IT direct placements, consulting, and project delivery services in the marketplace since 1997. Founder and CEO Rick Martinez realized that the best IT talent consistently seek and find each other. His goal is to provide a virtual network for exchange of ideas, concepts, solutions, and resources. I've known Rick for many, many years. He's one of those recruiters who wants to get out. He wants to meet people. He wants to know who you are. He wants to be able to help those companies that he's trying to deal with. So today's Rick's talk is about the 21 tips for an effective job search in today's ever-changing market. Rick, thank you for being with us, and it's all yours.
Thanks, Jeff. Thank you so much. I'm going to be allowed to share my screen. I sure can. Great. So I appreciate you the invitation. I always love coming and speaking here with Career DFW. Thank you so much. Jeff, if you don't mind, you've always been great as a moderator. Please stop me, interrupt me with somebody from the chat to ask any questions, as well as there in the room, if there's somebody there that we can go ahead and address any thoughts or comments that they may have. Does the sound come through okay? Can everybody hear me just fine?
Yep, sound great.
All right, super. So 21 tips. I'm going to go through this. I'm going to go ahead and have a chance to visit a bunch of different things. My goal is to hopefully give you 3 takeaways, 3 things. So I know if you've been in transition for a few weeks or so, you probably are doing many of the things I'm going to share with, but maybe there's going to be a couple, 3 things here that I can add to your task list that may make a difference between getting a job this week and a week or 2 later. So I'm happy to be here. Starting off with your job search, the task that you want to do. There are a bunch of things you want to have. You want to have a checklist, a project plan. You want to treat this just as if you're doing another type of work effort. Simply put, you. I'm going to talk about your resume. I'm going to talk about your LinkedIn profile. I'm going to talk about when you start to apply for jobs, what kind of follow-up you can do. Interview preparation, I can't speak any more highly than the pit crew, and we'll talk about that. Partnering with folks like us. We're there to provide a service. We're there to be a servant for you, and we're there to help you in your job search. And we should be one component that you should be reaching out to as well. So let's talk a little bit more specifically about things. So a simple thing is that there are people out there, especially people that haven't been in the job search market for a long time, that think or believe that they need to hit all the bullets in a job description. They believe that unless they have every single checkbox that's in that job, in the required skills, that they shouldn't even apply. My suggestion is a 70-30 rule. If you hit 70% of the criteria of the job list, go ahead and move forward and try to apply to that job. This is really interesting for the females in our audience. I don't mean to pick on anyone in particular, but for some reason, women that are professionals are very true to the job description that they have to hit every single requirement. Men, on the other hand, if they can hit 50%, they're all in, and they know they can learn the rest. And bully for you, I won't challenge you there. But the basic rule is, if you can hit 70%, take the time. Tailor your resume. In your cover letter, you can say the areas that you may not have the skill that they're looking for, how you can come up to speed, things that you skills that you have that could be parallel to those requirements are. But get yourself, I'd use the word, get yourself into the game. There are many groups, and more than I want to admit, but I own and run a placement firm, and my job is to find talent and match it up with our clients' needs and fill in positions. And so we do our best to hit a very high mark on requirements to a candidate to a job. And so at least twice a year, we evaluate a candidate, we speak with them, we qualify their skills and their experience, and we determine that we're not going to move forward with presenting them because doesn't meet our client's expectations. And then sure enough, a few weeks go by, a month go by, and we find out that person was hired. That person's now in that job and working. And so, of course, we're happy for that individual, but we hit ourselves on the head saying, what did we miss? What did we do wrong? Why is it that, and we'll talk to the manager. Hey, we noticed that you hired John for that position. We actually talked to John and we saw that John was missing this, this, and this. And you're right, he doesn't have those things. However, John, in one of his projects, started launching this particular, he launched or created a new product line that all of a sudden our priorities changed, and that product line is something that we're going to be introducing in the third quarter. And so that now became a key requirement for this position. And we go, Mr. Manager, that wasn't on the job description. That wasn't something, yeah, we just found out about it, and John just happened to hit the mark at the right time. So it's opportunity and timing, and that's where I'm coming with this. So take that time, take that effort. You still want to focus your resume for that 70%, but like I said, give yourself a chance to get into the game. You never know what's going to happen. So let's see. There we go. Sorry. So the other thing is about your resume. I'm sure all of you are very proud of your resume. I know you spent countless number of hours updating it and making it work, making it something that you want to go ahead and frame it and put it on the wall. I want to challenge you. I would really like for you to change your resume and morph it to the job that you're applying to. I'm no way encouraging you to fabricate it or put in things that you haven't done. But if the project calls for a senior project coordinator and you're a project manager, change your resume title to be project coordinator. It's not going to hurt anybody, and you're going to have the same functions, the same responsibility, the same skills. Again, a lot of times, a lot of positions are first handled by a recruiter. I was talking to one of our clients, and he was happy that some of his jobs, his workload is down. He's only handling 87 jobs. And that's one person handling 87 jobs that he has, and that includes coordinating interviews and drug tests and background checks and feedback and scheduling and everything. So what they're doing is they're taking their job description and they're looking at a resume. And again, they're looking at marketing jobs and IT jobs and accounting jobs and executive jobs and all. And he's looking for matches, and he or she is just looking for what things are going to look. Is this person going to, and he or she may not be able to understand that a project coordinator and a project manager are equally the same in certain eyes, and they won't even take the time to look at the entire description of the resume. So your goal is to help them make their job easier by matching up that resume. So the bottom line, I want to challenge you is you should have 30 active resumes that are in your toolbox that you should be using to apply to jobs. And that resumes will have different bullet items, different things that are highlighted, different titles on there. One of them may be a functional resume. One of them may be a technical resume. One of them may be a chronological resume. One of them may be only 1 page or 2 pages. The point is you want to match your resume up. I find once you have 30 copies, then you're at a point where you can use those pretty much interchangeably to the particular jobs that are and the opportunities that are out there. So until you get up to that mark, you still got work to do with your resume. That's my goal there. All right. I'll tell you, from a recruiting standpoint, our job is to find skilled individuals, and no one wants surprises. A lot of you have been in the professional work for a number of years, and I'm sure most of you know that when a company is looking to hire someone, they're looking to solve a problem. There is something in the organization that they need additional talent outside of their organization to fill a particular need or set of roles, a set of responsibilities. What they don't need is to hire a problem in a different way. So after I see someone that is worthwhile for either myself or one of my recruiters to call, absolutely the next thing we do is we go out to their social media pattern. First thing is going to be LinkedIn. Number 2 is going to be Facebook. And if they're younger folks, people with that are more in the millennial generation, we're going to Instagram or Snapchat or something like that. And we're doing that. Now, that's the first thing. Even before we pick up the phone to call you, we are going to go out to one of those social media platforms. As the process goes through, and as you continue through the interview process, and now let's say you're going on site, or you're in your second or third round, we're searching all the platforms. Okay, they won't know about this platform while I talk about my whatever it may be. Yes, we go out and we search additional platforms because our goal is we do not need to be surprised. So there's places for everything, but when you're in a job search, that's not the time to be put things out there that can be of a concern to any particular hiring authority. So I just leave it to cat videos. We'd probably be safe there and just leave it at that. Other thing is a lot of times people put all these wonderful words. They put some great bullets in their resume. They talk about all the different things that they've touched, and yet they never really said anything. This is more true from a technology pace. I run a technology company, so it may not be this. Please take it softly if you're in a marketing, if you're in a creative job. It may not be as specific there, but the goal is we always want our candidates, we always want our resumes to be results focused. When I mean by results, some sort of impact, some sort of metric. A metric being either a dollar amount or a number of staff, a budgetary amount, a time frame amount. And don't just say under budget and ahead of schedule. And when I read that, all I mean is they saved $1 and they finished the day early. I mean, if you say 20%, if you say 2 weeks early of a 6-week project, if you say a month early of a year project, that's impactful. So, and not every item in your resume is going to be able to put a metric around it, but you should try. My request to you is if you have 5 or 7 bullets for a particular job that you are trying to describe your experience, if it's 7, 4 of them should be metric specific. 4 of them should be, like I mentioned, tied to some sort of value that you can put there. And a simple way to look at your resume, and this is where I'll talk about here in a minute, your accountability partner can help you with this. A simple thing to do is to read a particular statement and ask yourself, so what? So, responsible for the organization and implementation of a new product line. So what? So now, responsible for the planning and design of a new product line that penetrated 4 different markets that added 22% of market share to the company's overall portfolio. There's your metric that demonstrates that particular bullet item. So if you can answer the so what question on your bullets, go back and look at your resume and try to find that achievement, try to find this, or try to just rework it in a way that you can't put that in there. That's my goal with that. And it is going to take you some work, and it's going to, but once you do it, you'll be prideful and you'll be able to see it. And that's what you want to go back and put on your LinkedIn profile as well. So next thing that we do is, everyone understands people in transition. People always know someone that is. It's nothing to ever be to hide behind. It's not a stigma. It's nothing to be embarrassed about. The best laid talent are in transition at one point. I make the joke that every Hollywood actor is always in transition unless they have a movie. If they're not in a movie, they're in transition. So you're in good company. But that doesn't mean you should be just sitting back and watching all the different court TV shows. I want to hear, I want to see in your resume, what things are you doing to improve your skills? Are you coming to career DFW programs? Are you getting certifications? Are you helping in networking groups? Are you helping other people? Perhaps you're helping other people in transition, writing their resume. And that's all good practice. But tell me what you're doing to improve yourself today. And that's going to be different than just someone. I've been in transition, and yeah, I'm still going to be a great hire. And but I haven't done anything in the last 4 months. That's the things that is going to be alarming to me. So that's where I want to show you. It still shows your passion and your initiative to continue to move forward and improve yourself. So like I talked about before, one of the best ways, I mean, we are all so proud of our resume. We spend days, if not a week or weeks, fixing it and making it well. I ask you to go ahead and find 2 of your peers, find 3 of your old managers. They may not be hiring. Hey, would you mind reviewing my resume? What things do you see in there? How can I get feedback from you? And some of them may be kind of, oh no, you look good, John. This is going to be, your resume may be great. I don't, if I had a position, I'd hire you right now, but, and they may be just being polite. So challenge them, say, if there's only one improvement that you would suggest, what would it be? And that way you're to go ahead and try to make that one change. You'll be able to make it that much better. And there is going to be something. I mean, we all know there's not a perfect resume, but we all should know that every resume can be improved. And getting folks that outside of your circle of influence will help you identify that. Those would be the people that you want to ask for. And people would be more than happy to be insightful for that. That's my goal there. And hopefully you all will take some time to reach out with other placement firms. There are firms out there. There are hundreds. There are hundreds here in the North Texas area. There are others nationwide. And, they may be another valuable resource for you. They should just be another component, someone to reach out to and speak to them. I have another presentation where we talk about how to work with partners, how to create a staffing firm partner. And, they are under different pressures than, a job seeker are, but they're still have accountabilities. And so, I'm not saying, go find 20 new staffing firms, but, you should probably find 3 to 5 that would like to get to know you, understand your background, that have a good pipeline of jobs in your area of expertise. Let them be your advocates. and they may be able to help you open a door that you haven't been able to open to in the past. So like I said, there's a number of different questions you could have about this. There's different partnerships involved here. There are placement firms out there that are individuals are not professional from the standpoint that don't always return calls or may not be able to help you or so. That's fine. You know, there in the industry, you'll see that, but you will find people out there that are passionate in this role that can be a good component for you. And it's your job to go and find some of those folks in there too. So that would be my suggestion there. You know, so I'm sure you're looking at across different platforms, more and more companies, especially companies on the I don't want to use the word soft skills, but more non-technology based jobs, probably the best way to bring it up. Marketing, HR, social media. There's a lot of jobs that are posted now on Instagram, on Facebook. You know, before you go to a company, you go to their careers page, you go to the job boards, you even go to LinkedIn, and there, of course, you can find jobs there. But I heard someone say earlier that they're looking for new target companies. You know, go follow some of your favorite products, and you'll start finding jobs posted on these different platforms. So just prepare, just go do research. And like I mentioned, we ourselves in the past year, and we've never posted to Facebook before, and we're not posting to Facebook. We're not posting our jobs to Twitter, because the biggest job sector of candidates are millennials, and that's where they hang out. So we have to go meet them and all. And you may, someone mentioned they were possibly looking into transitioning from one career to another. So you may be taking a sidestep to a different opportunity, and that may be another chance for you to find these other platforms to look for those jobs. I'm surprised there's so many out there. Don't just stick yourself to job boards and company websites. So my thought there. So like I mentioned earlier, people understand being in transition. People understand that things change. Companies get acquired, companies relocate. You don't want to move, uproot your family, all different reasons. It's okay to tell folks, tell people at church, tell people that you play softball with, tell people that you are in their bunco group, tell you know, your circle of friends. It's another network. We all understand, I'm sure most of us would agree, that the richest referrals, the richest network are through people that you know and references of someone else. And the only way someone's going to know that is if you just got to go ahead and tell them that. There may be a time where there may be some uncomfort, and that's okay. You just move on and continue with the conversation, asking about their family or their children or their next trip or whatever it may be. But again, most people, the ones that you have created a relationship with, have a general desire to understand and help you, or just say, hey, I heard that XYZ is looking, or you know what, let me give you in touch with my friend Mary, because she would be looking for, maybe it can point you in one direction, or my friend Jeff is a recruiter. Let me let you talk to him. There's all those things. So again, don't think that you have to be private. You have to keep this close to your chest, that no one needs to know this. It's okay. Everyone understand that. And it's another way for you to be able to find an opportunity that you may not know. And even better, you have an opportunity that you do know, they may have a contact person in there. That's the best thing to do. So I talked about this a little bit before. This is just a bit more specific, other than going to meetup groups, career TFW. Look for professional organizations. If you have a leadership or managerial background, the Dallas PMI chapter is highly active. I just read an email, I believe, where they waive meeting fees for people in transition. I believe that might be still true. So if you have a leadership background, I would highly suggest looking into that. ATW has done really well. They have an event partner, or I should say ATBP, Association of Technology Business Professionals, has a meeting next Tuesday night where they're having 4 women DEI leaders come in and talking about things. great meeting program content. I think they also, I know for sure they do waive meeting fees for people in transition. So plenty of events, plenty of things to go to. I mean, it's not only the quality of work and the way that you're doing the work, but another component to getting hired is the numbers. Being out there and doing the actions that you need in order to be in front of the people that are going to be hired. So you're going to have to go to find ways to go and participate in these organizations. If their website doesn't have any kind of fees waived for people in transition, send an email to that point of contact. Ask them about it. I'm pretty sure most of these organizations will probably try to do that for you. And it doesn't hurt to ask. That'd be another way. Don't think that you're gonna have to pay money every time you attend these things. Again, like I tell you, the leaders of these organizations do understand about people being in transition. So let's say you've exhausted your network. You really want to apply to this job at Capital One. You send your resume to the website, and now you're waiting. You know what? It's okay now to try to find what's the second attempt. Now that job is perfect for me. I think I can really do well in that opportunity. You know, start searching out onto Capital One and look for those recruiters and try to connect up them. Most of the recruiters, our job is to connect with folks. And in your message to reach out to them, say, I happen to send my resume back on May 17th. It's for job number. Don't just say the name, senior marketing specialist for advanced tools. Give them a job number, because make their job easier. Let them go look at that. And perhaps they can go ahead and point you to the right person. They'll get you those connections. More and more companies are returning to the workplace. We're seeing that in the last 8 months, quite a bit now. So you can call the main number and get routed to the HR department if you'd like. You can call and send them another message on LinkedIn if they've already connected with them. So don't think, okay, I've done my best. I've applied online and I don't know why they're calling me back. You still should have a plan. You still should have some sequence of actions that you should do to try to follow up with that resume that you submitted. Most of the time, they won't let you submit a second resume, but a lot of times these web portals will allow you to update your resume, and because they for whatever different reason. And that may be a perfect way for you to do that, because let me share with you the work actions that a recruiter's doing. So I'm a recruiter for Capital One. I'm sorry, I'm just making this up, so please don't apply it. Capital One does things like this. Don't, especially since it's recorded. But let's say I'm a recruiter for Capital One, and I come in this morning. I really need to fill this director of social media position. I'm sitting down, it's been open now for 2 weeks. And let's say you're a social media manager and you applied last week. Next thing you know, I got this email from my boss that the supply chain director hasn't been filled. I just got a call from the VP. You need to spend all your time in action on that. Oh gosh, guess what? I've just redirected. I was planning on working on one job. Now I got to work on the director of supply chain. And so I'm working on that. I spend 2 or 3 days. I get things going, find candidates, get the interview started on. Okay, what was I going to do? This is now Friday. Oh yeah, I was going to look at that social media manager. Let me go back there. Guess what I'm doing now? It's been 4 days have gone by. I'm in my ATS and I'm saying, give me all the people that applied for the social media manager in the last week. Why? Because I'm not going to want to look through 50 resumes. I'm hoping that in the past week, someone applied that I want to, that's going to fit this criteria. And if you've updated your resume, the system, the ATS just knows that you're now current and you've now been one of the persons in the last 5 days. And now you're going to pop up in that search stream. I mean, as a recruiter, I'm not going to look through 50 pages on a result set unless I'm really bored or I'm just not hitting the mark. Hopefully in that first 2 pages, I'm going to find the people I need to call and start researching for. Because just look at it from your perspective. When you're going to Amazon, how many of you look to the 3rd page when buying a product? Right? You're only looking on the 1st page, maybe the 2nd. Same thing holds true in all criteria. So find ways, if you update that resume, you have a better chance of being in the results that when the recruiters happen to look at that job. Not the best thing to hear, but that's the way things work. So that's why I want you to consider that. So Walt and Jeff talked about this great. I don't need to repeat myself, but practice. You know, you want to practice the interviews. You want to practice with the job descriptions. The pit crew. I cannot talk more highly of them. They do a wonderful job, and they're a great. They're a great way to. You don't want your. I'm sure many of us go when we're interviewing. We hang up the phone or we walk out. I should have said this. Oh, I forgot to mention that. Oh, I wish I would have presented it this way. Why not let the pit crew, why not let some peer be that first practice point? Let you go through those answers. It's okay to have those notes in front of you, but you need to have those notes to write with. So nothing I can't say any more than encouraging people to step up to the pit crew. Believe it or not, again, and Walt said this as well, so it's really nice that I was able to step in earlier today. You know, body language still makes a difference. You know, people don't want to see you laid back in the chair slouching, especially even on a Zoom call. People want to see what you're, that you have eye contact. We have to coach some of our millennial friends how to these simple techniques. They are looking down because they're used to looking at their phone, and now they're trying to talk to somebody and they don't know what to do. The same thing is true for all of us. Make sure your hands, you're not sitting on your hands. Make sure you're using them. If you use them when you speak, use them judiciously. Don't be just waving them every chance you get. Walt couldn't have said it any better. The biggest thing he said was show interest. Shows where your passion can be. I tell people, even if they said something that doesn't resonate with you, oh wait, I thought this was a hybrid job. They're saying they're coming back full time in September. Dang, what's that? I'm gonna have to get my car working again, or have to find, you know, daycare, carpool. It's okay. Show that interest. Don't show those concerns, because we tell people all the time, it's very easy for you to turn down and decline a job that you're offered. You could never decline a job that no one ever offers you. And the only way you can do that is you have to be able to check all those boxes. You got to be able to show that interest and show the passion and convey the information to folks there. So that's one thing that I want to highly encourage you. So in other words, sign up for Walt's class. So yeah, Walt, that's for you. All right. So another way to help plan for your interview is, you know, and there's all kinds of techniques, there's all things to say, but I'd say one simple thing that I show here is identify your 4 S's. What are your skills? What are your strengths? What are your successes? And what are your stories? Well, we tell candidates to come and have at least 2 success stories. We do a lot of data jobs, data science, data analysis, data visualization. And so we call them data stories. Whatever stories to be, tell them of a journey that you took, of a project. What made the project difficult? What obstacles did you have to overcome? What were your takeaways? What things that you did from a metric standpoint, you know, again, budget amount, people led, delivery, schedule, maybe. Put those together and be able to talk and convey them, and have 2 different stories from either the same organization or 2 different companies, and have them there that you can be prideful about. And the reason why you want to have those 4 S's and have them written down for you and practice them is then as people ask you questions and people start walking through your experience, you can now reference those stories and talk in a more meaningful way how that responds to the question that they're asking. And as opposed to, I can't tell you how many times people are asked a question and they start looking up at the ceiling, hoping that the ceiling has the answer that they're looking for, because they haven't done their preparation and they can't really interweave that story. The second thing is that stories resonate with hiring authorities. They are now evaluating you not only to the job, but also they're evaluating you to other candidates. And yes, metrics and measurements gets you in the game and gets you to be a coveted candidate. But a story is something that resonates with an interviewer. And so when they're talking and comparing candidate 1 to candidate 2 and 3 and 4, oh, remember Bob talked about that project where he did this, and they're able to convey back that message of what you did in your experience more specifically than someone else does. Oh, they led projects between 8 and 12 people. They had 6 different projects. I don't know what they were. There was nothing there. I mean, it's still meaningful, but you are now showing a story because people relate to stories and they gravitate toward those better. So I see a few chats coming up. Is there anything there that I need to try to address?
No, nothing. No questions yet.
Okay, I'm sorry. I just see the number going up some. So the story, if you have 2 stories that helps convey that message, it just resonates with our interviewers. People love telling those things. So if you can find a way to build a story on there, all the power to you. That's where you're gonna. I mean, again, your goal in an interview is to separate yourself from other candidates. And you want to, and the ways that you separate yourself is by showing your interest, showing your passion, having your metrics in your resume, and be able to resonate with the interviewer. And these are just some of the ways that I would suggest that you do that. All right. I'm a big proponent of this. If there's nothing that you come back with this, I would like for you to come back with this slide. Collect testimonials, collect them, put them on your LinkedIn profile. When I told you recruiters after they look at your resume and they want to pick up the phone, what's the first thing they do? They go to LinkedIn and they check you out and they make sure that you are who you say you are. The next thing is I'm scrolling down, I'm looking at your testimonials. And the more testimonials you have, I'm going to be more interested in you. Also, when I'm using LinkedIn for a recruiting tool, and I'm looking for a director of XYZ that has product ownership responsibility and the retail marketplace. When you have testimonies, when you have LinkedIn recommendations, the algorithm pushes your results at higher in that response queue back to me. It's one of the things it looks for is the number of recommendations you have. So you could be stellar and you could be great, but I'm pulling up all the LinkedIn people that fit my criteria, and I'm looking down them. But if you have recommendations, it's going to push you up higher. So I'm going to look at you first. I'm going to look at you faster. And now the second question comes up. So how do I get my LinkedIn recommendations? I'm really not sure where to start and everything. The way that you do it is you write LinkedIn recommendations for someone else. Whatever number of jobs that you have, if you have 3 jobs in your career or you've had 8, go to each one of those jobs, think about the top 5 people that you worked with. They could have been your customer, they could have been a peer, they could have been your manager, they could have been someone in another group that you had secondary meetings with. Go out and write them a LinkedIn recommendation. LinkedIn is very good about saying, John Smith wrote you a recommendation. Do you want to accept it to your LinkedIn profile? And in that message, you put on there, hey, John, I wrote you a LinkedIn recommendation. We worked together at AT&T, and I thought you did a great job. I enjoyed the time that we worked together. I wrote you this LinkedIn recommendation. Hey, would you mind writing me one? People feel a need to reciprocate when there's a recommendation written for you. It doesn't have to be, a dissertation. It doesn't have to be a book report. It can be a paragraph. And LinkedIn doesn't measure the length of a recommendation. It just measures the recommendations. And if you go and do that, writing 5 LinkedIn recommendations for each of those jobs, and if you had 5 jobs, you're writing 25 LinkedIn recommendations, you should get back to 15 to 18, and that's going to make you look so good in front of all your other candidates. So if there's nothing else, go out and do this. I think this is one of the key things I would recommend to you. All right, we talked about this. I'm just repeating myself here. There you go. That's what the LinkedIn recommendation looks like. Go out and do it. So a lot of you know this, believe it or not, a lot of people don't do it. And writing thank you notes. People like seeing that. Make sure that they're still spell checked. I've seen them and people don't bother spell checking them. Shame on you. So please go do that. You know what? A lot of times people are still remote. So you write in an email thank you note, just as acceptable. Writing a LinkedIn thank you note, you can find their email address. That's fine too. The point is people think they do appreciate them because still few people write them. We ask our candidates to write them. And even when we ask them, only 50% do. So it is a differentiator. It will make a difference. So we talked about training. If you found that you're something, oh, I'm a project manager, I've been a director now, and whatever, I'm still trying to open doors, and but I'm not PMP. Well, I've got 20 years experience. What do I need to? Because there's certifications that some companies just require. Some people use that as a separator. There are different organizations that are nonprofit out here that can give grants. There are scholarships to get certain certifications. It's going to take some legwork, but it's another part of your job plan that you should be looking into. Again, that's a key note to have. What did you do in transition? Oh, I got my Scrum certification. Oh, what'd you do? Oh, I got my PMI certification. Oh, okay, awesome. That's great, because people know that it takes work and effort to do that. I would find a way and suggest that you find some sort of certification. All right, we talked about this, smart practices, continuing education. That's something that's also important. Other thing, I'm sure all the groups talk about this, and I can't emphasize this anymore. You know, everyone believes that they are doing the best they can to find a job. And everyone thinks that, you know what, I sent out 10 resumes this week. I worked hard. Folks, 10 resumes means 2 a day, right? I mean, there should be much more in your day that you're doing to this. So you need to find someone that you can meet with, someone outside of your circle of friends, an accountability partner that's going to hold you to the task, hold your feet to the fire. Look at your plan and challenge that wait a minute, your plan has nothing about networking groups. Where's your plan? Where's your task about identifying a next certification? Who are the, a part of your plan should be making 50 new LinkedIn connections a week. Okay, I only made 7. Well, I tried, but that means next week you got to do, what is it, 93 more. So, someone that's not going to let you, I understand. Yeah, I know that the new season of something to drop and you spend 8 hours watching that. No. No one wants to hear that. So find someone that's going to be able to be rough on you when you're missing it. That's going to be able to share with you things that you really don't want to do. And that's going to challenge you, because that's going to be the best way. I try to tell people in the transition side that you will, if you think you to do the best job, you are going to have to work. You are going to have to step up and do things that haven't been that you've done in a while. And and that job tactical plan has to have all the different things that we talked about, and you got to track and measure them based upon those things. So that's kind of what I wanted to kind of go through. I wanted to have a few minutes left. I don't know, Jeff can tell me how much we do have. Perhaps there may be a question or two. I'll be more than happy to try to address and answer for what folks may have to say.
Well, yeah, we've got plenty of time. If anybody has any questions, who are online, you're welcome to unmute your mic and ask away. And if you people questions or comments in here, grab the mic. Anybody? Okay.
Hi, Rick. This is Walt. Thank you much for talking with us today and pointing out some things that'll help us. I was thinking about writing a book called Successful Job Search in 214 Easy Steps. But nonetheless, you mentioned about the multitude of resumes and the different ones that you suggested that we might have. So how can we reconcile the consistency effort that I also hear we should have with what we put on LinkedIn and how we use our resumes and use, all the different ones?
Right. Yeah, we do get that question at different times. And, Rick, you said you had 30 different resumes, but I can't have 30 different LinkedIn profiles, or I can't change it every time I send out a new apply. And your resume on LinkedIn should be the closest to what you believe best portrays your background and skills. And when I go as a recruiter looking, I have a resume that says project coordinator because that's what my job title is. And on my LinkedIn resume it says project manager. That's not going to be an issue for me. I'm mainly looking at other companies in line, other dates fairly in line. People, can have some sway of dates a little bit. But what I don't want to see is, the red flag is, the resume has 8 companies I work for, and the LinkedIn profile has 2. or the resume that you sent me has a master's and the LinkedIn profile says GED. Those are the things that I'm really concerned with. But other than that, I'm not looking for per se word for word matchup. Your LinkedIn profile, which I may have slipped over, but you really want to update. If you post your resume to job boards, if you post your resume or your LinkedIn profile, you want to change it daily. And I don't mean change words and add bullets. You know, a change could be a comma to a semicolon. A change could be an uppercase to, I don't think uppercase, but a change could be just adding a blank line or taking a blank line away. Because again, recruiters are doing searches, and a lot of times, almost always, they're part of their search criteria that has been updated in the last week. Because again, they're not going to be, and then if they can't find a match, then they'll take that search criteria off. And LinkedIn, Indeed, Monster, Career Builder, all these job boards, they don't care what you've changed. They only care that what's been updated. And when you go ahead and make that change, like I said, add in a blank line, taking one away, then that puts you in the game. That gives you in the most result sets that recruiters are looking for. So that's my part that you help me bring that back up, Walt.
Any other questions, comments in here? Hold on just one second. Pass the mic around.
Hi, Rick. Thanks for the information. I was looking at your recommendation about tweaking your social media profile. So I'm active on LinkedIn, but I'm not really active on Facebook. Just, do you recommend I start being more active on it at this point? Or, and I also have a Twitter account, and I've hardly ever used. So at this stage in the job search, should I spend more time on those social media profiles?
It's going to depend if you're based upon your professional background. You know, if you're in marketing, social media, probably so. If you're in accounting, IT, distribution, then my point is to go and use those tools to look for jobs. So we aren't in that area, in that space, meaning in a marketing space or social media space. So we aren't really going looking for candidates there yet. But our candidate pool, if a client is looking for 1 to 3 years experience, we post the jobs there because we want them, when they're trolling and doing the things that they do, that they may have a chance to see our job. So I hope that answers your question.
In addition to posting them there, you're also posting them on your own website, correct?
Absolutely, yes.
There. And the other point is, I think when you're talking about that you check out social media profiles, is you're just looking for red flags, right?
Exactly, yes.
You know, if you're right winger, left winger, whatever it is, if anything stands out, you're sitting there with beer in your hand and, doing things you shouldn't be doing. That's what you're looking for, because you want to make your candidate as useful and generic as possible, sort of. I mean, good talent, but no issues.
Exactly. Yeah, when I was talking about those things, we're really looking, you said it the best way, Jeff, we're looking for red flags. We're looking for things that are uncomfortable. Again, remember, coming back to the other point I mentioned around that, companies looking to solve a problem, not hire a different one. Right.
I mean, any other comments, questions in here? Comments, questions? Anybody online? I always like, I've been doing this for so long. One of the things that I like to do is, what's the one thing takeaway from your talk? And the one thing I'm going to take away personally that I've never heard anybody else say, and I need to do more research on it, and you probably just barely skipped over this, but to me it stood out, was if you filled out an online application, if you can go update it, you should update it once a week, because I've never even thought about that. You fill out, you do the online application, you're done, you filled it out, and then it's left. And the example you gave, where we go back and look what's going on in the back week, if you're able to update an online application, that I think is, to me, that's the takeaway that I'm going to take away from your presentation today. So.
And thank you. I hope somebody will catch that. A hack, I'll give you a hack that you may or may choose not to do, is you find that job and you update your resume, or it doesn't let you update it, or you've updated it, but you know that's the job, and you just wish you could find the right person that you can contact. So the hack would be, most of us have a second email address. Go create a second profile. So you can, again, find a way to get yourself into a result set that somebody can look at. And it could still be your, the ATS, it doesn't go in search or validate resume to resume that's in the system. They only validate name and or email and or phone. And so that could be another, again, your goal is to get in front of the decision maker. And if it's something that you think, I mean, I've never had ever in my 26 years of business, your person applied twice, so we're not interested in him. That's never happened. So if you want to do that, that's another way. My goal is to get you back employed.
All right. Rick, are you okay with people reaching out to you on LinkedIn?
I hope they do. Yes, sir.
Here's Rick's LinkedIn profile. You're welcome to, when you see his thing, you can click here. You'll be able to send him, you'll be able to connect with him. If you're not connected, please feel free to do that. Here's R2 Technology. This is, if you click to the job board, click on job listings. Here are all the jobs they currently have listed. So check that out. Maybe there's something on there that'll be of use to you. And then here is Rick's group. Now, Rick, apparently, this is a picture when he was a young man.
Look at that. Holy, I got to fix that.
Yes, that was Rick when he was youth. All right. So here's Rick now. So, and then here's the rest of the staff. And I like what they did is they went and put little pictures on here that when you can change, you go, don't take my picture, with glasses. I think that's pretty funny the way they did this. So you can see his group of people there. So check out his website, R2 Technologies. It's r2now.com. If you type in R2 Technologies, it'll take you to a spam website out in California, because I was doing that while I was on the call here trying to figure what's going on here. So it's r2now.com. And I'll put that in the email that goes out this afternoon. So Rick, thank you very, very much. Let's see here. Let me share a few more slides and we will get out of here. Get the right show up here.
I appreciate the invitation.
Great. Well, Rick, thank you very much for your time. All right. Let me get rid of a couple things here. All right. So coming up next week, we will talk about why emotional intelligence matter is still relevant with Debbie Shook. She's an information management and executive and career transition coach. I've got speakers lined up all through the month of June. So we've got some good things coming up here. I know a couple people mentioned they don't have any target companies. Well, we're going to have one of the presentations will be how to use reference solutions coming up in June to be able to find companies that are happening. If you've not put your 30-second reductions in the Zoom chat window, I don't know you're here. If I don't know you're here, I won't update the I won't be able to update the roster, and you won't get my email this afternoon because I only send it to those people who I know are around. So please put your information in there so we can be able to contact you. Career DFW and Career USA, we're putting on training 4 days a week. Please join us next Tuesday for LinkedIn Tuesday. Terry Sullivan will be with us to talk about how to create a LinkedIn brand that tells your key contacts who you are, what you do, and how you can help. The event will not be recorded, so if you want to watch Terry, you do need to watch him live next Tuesday at 1 o'clock. Next Wednesday, 1 o'clock, watch the practice interview team. Watch an actual practice interview. Will be online only. It'll be on Zoom only. You also will not be able to record it. We only do the recording for the person being interviewed, but you can watch an actual practice interview. And like I said, watching somebody else being interviewed is as informative and, as being here and seeing somebody being interviewed and participating, because you'll learn things, what you should and shouldn't do. Next Thursday, being the fourth Thursday of the month, we're going to talk about networking. We've got a different speaker talking about networking. I've got to line up that person. I've got somebody lined up, but we'll do that next Thursday. This session has been recorded. You will be able to go back and watch it on the Career DFW Facebook page and the Career USA YouTube channel. On the Career USA YouTube channel, we have over 500 videos. So click on playlist. Every video that I upload goes into one of 7 different playlists. Go down to North Dallas Plano Career Focus Group speakers. Click on whether you see the red circle, view full playlist. Up will come a list of all the different dates and topics and titles, and you can go find the speaker that you'd like to go back and watch. Just know that any of them from the North Dallas group, you need to go 20, 25 minutes into the video so that's when the speaker will be talking. All right, come join us today for lunch. Everybody has to eat lunch. If you want to get this particular burger, you do need to bring your own ham. They don't have ham there. This burger will cost you around $33 last time I checked there. I had them price it out for me. So if you're interested, come join us today at Country Burger, Northwest Corner at Parker and Independence. Burger, salads, and more. Just come join us today at 11:45. So thanks everybody for joining us today. Rick, thank you very, very much. Everybody have a great weekend, and we will see you next week. Yeah, no ham on the hammer, right. And bikers are have motorcycles, but cyclists are called bikers.